heard it said time and again
He's so bad, y'all.
that being elected to the homecoming court is just a popularity contest.
Yeah, he's big time. He's big time here. He is.
If that's true, then Coach Trevor is guilty as charged.
He lights up a room as soon as he walks in.
During his 4 years at Madison County High School, Trevor Landers has been a fixture on the Tigers football sideline, where he earned the nickname Coach Trevor.
He's a fun-loving person, and every person that he meets or sees, he greets them with kindness and just a loving person.
Trevor's condition prevents him from doing a lot of talking, but where his words fall short, his expressions and hugs speak volumes.
He is just like my right-hand man. I couldn't do life without him.
So for someone who brings everyone so much joy, his classmates thought they'd return the favor.
He's Mr. Personality, loves everybody. He's a little clown.
For as long as anyone can remember, Madison County has only crowned a homecoming queen.
2016 Homecoming King.
That tradition ended with thunderous applause.
Trevor Landers.
From all accounts, the vote wasn't even close.
And they went on to tell me that they had threatened people that didn't vote for him that they might have bodily harm come to them. So I discouraged that, but I thanked them anyway. So.
And Trevor's entire family was there to see it all.
Huge family support, and I have the best. Love them so much.
And as for his classmates, including his first ever homecoming dance date, you can be sure they'll never forget the day Coach became king.
He deserves something special for him.
Many people have lost an awful lot.
In a season known for giving, you'd think December would be hard for this town after everything they've lost.
It's a bittersweet sight.
Among the cinder blocks and trees twisted by a powerful tornado stands a simple Christmas tree with a powerful premise.
Putting the tornado kind of behind us.
The idea came from Tommy Darwin. He decided the town needed a reason to smile, so he went to Thornhill Tree Farm, also greatly damaged by the tornado. Instead of taking the much-needed profit, Thornhill donated the Douglas fir and a homemade stand.
We're asking people of the community and the surrounding areas to come out and place a Christmas ornament.
The rules are simple. There are none.
Anything that would bring hope and the spirit of Christmas to this community of Rosalie.
One by one, the family stepped where the produce aisles once stood and placed their ornaments. Some picked decorations with symbolic meanings, like Andy's heart.
So that way people can see that somebody loved this person very much.
11-year-old Gabriel brought his favorite ornament, a penguin.
It makes everybody feel better, like there's hope in the future, like they can just rebuild.
The tree, a reminder of what the Nativity story tells us, the divine child bringing hope to a broken world, and a bright star telling of his arrival.
And just people trying to get their lives back together.
No, the branches don't have literal lights. Those will be added Tuesday.
The community needs this Christmas tree.
But this tree has brought more love and joy than any gift that could be found underneath.
I think it represents the goodness and hope that this community will make it.
The fear, danger, and sorrow will always be remembered.
On one of America's darkest days.
But even more so, the bravery, courage, and commitment of those who risked their lives will be remembered for an eternity.
We saw many brave Americans at their best.
Just imagine what it must have been like for those New York City firemen and police officers who, in heavy gear and toting life-saving equipment, rushed up 60 flights of stairs.
Which is why this 9/11 walk meant so much to so many.
We honor the fallen and those who have served us so well.
There is no right or wrong way to weave through the chalk-drawn labyrinth, just your way.
It is for everyone. It is a spiritual and ceremonial reality wherein the space can be used to let go and begin to heal as our nation is beginning to let go and beginning to heal.
Leslie Freeman walked in honor of her husband, Eric.
We are their family.
A Huntsville police officer who was gunned down by a drunk driver in 2007.
We proudly but tentatively send each one of them out of the door each day, praying for their safe return.
She served as a reminder, not just those on the front lines make sacrifices for God and country.
Americans found strength and resolve on that fateful day. Our great melting pot of people put aside their differences.
The Oakwood Aeolian Choir provided a heavenly soundtrack as people old and young, rich and poor, officers and civilians followed the twists and turns of the path.
You'll see people with photographs of the fallen in their hands, and you'll see people with rose petals clutched against their heart. Walk it for the ones you cannot see.
Participants were given a burden stone to represent the weight of grief, guilt, and anger over 9/11. At the center of the labyrinth was an altar of sorts, a chance to cast those burdens aside, a chance to know that others carry the same weight.
But as tragic as the attacks on the U.S. in 1941 and in 2001 were, in the end they brought out the best in our character.
15 years shows us that time may not heal all wounds, but through the twists and turns, we can choose to walk through the bright and dark days together.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here.
While the Republican nominee wasn't here in the flesh,
make America great again.
Donald Trump was on the heads, minds, lips, and yes, even smartphones of many in attendance. On the topic of Trump's lewd comments about women, the answer was about the same.
Nobody likes that type of language.
Whether it was a Republican leader.
I don't like it. My friends don't like it. But Donald Trump, he looked at people in the eye and he apologized.
Or the average voter.
Regardless of any Republican that ran for office, it would be a smear campaign from the left.
Congressman Mo Brooks said Trump's transgressions from 2005 is just a distraction from the issues.
Our attention is not on the ball. Our attention has been diverted from these public policy issues that define us as a party, define us as a people, and have made us who we are.
Much like a church service, Representative Brooks often found himself preaching to the choir.
Which party has the candidates that support free enterprise and liberty? Which party has the candidates that support socialism and oppression?
And didn't forget to pass the plate.
And when I say sacrifice, I mean sacrifice deep. I'm not talking about 10 or 20 bucks.
With issues like border security, health care, and Supreme Court nominations on the line, Brooks told the crowd the stakes couldn't be higher.
Do your part. 4 weeks left. We need to pull this thing out.
In Huntsville.
That's whipping Hillary Clinton.
Chris Davis, WHNT News 19. Like a symphony on the high seas, each member of the USS Eisenhower's flight deck crew is a vital instrument to ensure harmony, and in this specific case, safety, while performing rapid takeoffs and landings in the middle of the ocean. With each landing, ours included, crews captured the tailhook using a series of cables, bringing the plane to an abrupt stop.
When we're doing recoveries, right?
High above the flight deck, lifelong Huntsville native Darian Fletcher performs on a different type of instrument, a camera, that helps document the flight deck crew's every move.
I just capture that and we put it out to the whole ship.
The feed broadcasts across screens all over the mighty Ike, but the hope is it shows a tempo that doesn't miss a beat.
It's very vital because you would want a record of just in case anything goes bad or just in case something happens on the flight deck that someone needs to get recalled about.
Loud engines and wind make conversation impossible on the flight deck, so the colorful crew relies on hand signals to communicate. Each jersey color signifies a different member of the team. Yellow, the maestro of this melody, flight and catapult directors that guide each plane to its proper place. Red reloads the ordnance. Green, among other things, maintenance and quality control, which is where Darian comes in.
Not everybody gets to see this.
How you doing, bud?
Good, what about you?
All right.
While Darian says joining the Navy brought him some of the happiest days of his life, his decision to enlist came on one of his worst.
I lost my grandfather in 2007, and he was like basically my idol, so it was just like, I want to be like my granddad so bad.
Like so many of us when we lose a loved one, Darian set out to learn more about his grandfather, which led him down a journey he never expected.
I never knew until like the day that he died that he was in the military. Like I never knew it, and then it was just like, if he turned out this great, I wonder how I might turn out.
'Twas the day before Christmas Eve, and all through Rocket City, cars barely moving, stores super busy. Out at Parkway Place Mall, not a parking spot in sight. On University Drive, a sea of brake lights.
I always wait. I tend to procrastinate, so.
Last-minute shopping brought out people in droves. Erica came to Best Buy just for an iPhone.
Phones all around for the whole family.
New gadgets also prompted this mother and father, but when they saw all the crowds,
not successful. It's crazy in there.
They decided not to bother.
Looking for an iPod for my nephew and for my kids, a flat screen TV.
They told us they'd keep looking, another store or two.
But I thought maybe I would get lucky, but I guess not.
But if they strike out under the tree, an IOU.
After Christmas sale.
Of course, this busy shopping day happens both far and near, and if both Erica and Corey are honest,
long lines, people waiting to get service, people everywhere.
It's not new. This happens each year.
I try Walmart.